out across the 15-yard line. The Jets with a 21-13 lead on the Dolphins. A look at the Keystone halftime statistics. And the Jets with an advantage in most categories, including time of possession. So the Jets have come back well, coming off the bizarre game against Chicago on Monday night. A game that saw Bruce Coslett take some media criticism for those two critical calls, running the ball with Blair Thomas eventually fumbling, and then Pat Leahy going for the field goal on first down. This is Higgs out to the 24-yard line. Has Coslett been dealt with in a fair manner this week?
Well, you know, he has enough to worry about, Mark, without worrying about what the press is thinking. I don't really think so. I think he made the right decisions, and they're on him about some things that just were misfortune. It didn't work out. I don't think they treated him right. No.
Bill, as a coach, did you resent media criticism?
I think when I first started coaching, I did, but you kind of get used to it a little bit, and you adapt to it, and really the most important thing is you don't take it seriously after a while.
Don't take it seriously. Second down and 2 on the 24. And Higgs finding the opening. Picks up the first down. Mo Lewis, the rookie out of Georgia, making the stop. Most coaches, as you know, do take it seriously and hold grudges. Now, you know that's so.
Well, you know, there's some guys in the newspaper business that have been known to hold grudges on coaches, too. So, you know, if the coach isn't quite as cooperative as they think he should be, sometimes he can't let his prejudice against the coach, you know, just subside and be professional about it. They have to get their say in, too. So it works both ways.
First down at the 29-yard line. Minute and a half gone by in the third quarter. Off the play action. Marino able to step up and throws one off the mark. Intended for Mark Duper. I got the idea that at times you would try to intimidate the media.
Well, if I felt like I could get a message to my team and I could use the media to do it, from time to time I might try to use that resource. It's
using the media
as a resource that's available to you.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to act to your detriment. It could act to your benefit as well.
I see. Was there a them against us mentality that you were seeking?
Well, you got to get your team against something. Sometimes the media is as good as anything.
Good play by Lewis all over Higgs. These days, are you them or us?
Well, good buddy up here. I guess I'm one of us.
Yeah, right. Mark Higgs, the starter once again at running back, although Sammy Smith off IR has been spotted. And now the rookie from Fresno State, third-round draft pick, Aaron Craver has come on. It's a third down and 10 at the 29. Marino is only 2 for his last 8 after the good start. Look out. Jets try to strip the ball. It was knocked free. And we'll have to see if the play was whistled dead. Big rush by the Jets. It will be Miami ball. Jeff Lageman will get credit for the sack, his 4th of the season.
Of course, Lageman's kind of turned into the Jets pass rush leader now, and they're looking for him to provide the spark, and you know, he's been doing it very well. You know, they put him on the other side now, away from Richmond Webb there. They're rotating him, so they're not sure where he's going to be able to line up, and he got a good rush. You know, not too many guys can rush from both sides.
And here is Roby. His last punt was blocked. Mathis was waiting for it. And it will be down at the 44. A 38-yard punt. We'll be back in a moment.
35 yards on.
Hertz, we're America's wheels.
Welcome back to Giants Stadium in the New Jersey Meadowlands. The Jets with a 21-13 lead on the Dolphins. And the Jets first down from their 44-yard line with 3 minutes gone by in the third quarter. 80 Boyer in motion. O'Brien off the play action. Rob Moore again. Gets to the 35. Stopped by Reichenbach and Jackson.
All right. Well, you see more. This is the same. This is on top of the screen here. This is the same play that the Jets started the game with. And they're going to make the play action fake to the strong side. Moore's going to come across, and he's going to lay it over the linebacker's head. And strangely enough, the first play of the game, first play of the second half, same play to Moore.
Sixth catch of the day for 95 yards. That went for 21. It's a 1st and 10 at the 34. And here's Blair Thomas getting inside the 30. Tripped up by the nose tackle, Brian Sauché. Let's check out the Hertz 10-minute ticker. First, the early games. Final scores: Buffalo 35-20 over Chicago. Dallas knocking off the Giants. New Orleans maintaining the unbeaten record. Detroit with the victory. Raiders on top in the 3rd. Kansas City with the lead. Rams extend over Green Bay. Phoenix in front of New England and Seattle. 17-3 over the Colts in the 3rd. 2nd and 6 for the Jets. Again, Boyer peels off. On a reverse, it's Mathis. Misty Jackson made the stop. Beautiful fake, and Terrence Mathis able to go for 19.
But you got to be impressed with the versatility of the Jet wide receivers. I mean, it seems like every receiver that gets his hand on the ball can make a big play for him. And here you see Thomas on an easy reverse, and of course they're peeling back, and Mathis got great speed and down on the corner here by himself and almost gets it all the way in.
Terrence Mathis, 6th round draft pick last year in his 2nd season out of New Mexico. Jarvis Williams, the Dolphins strong safety, shaken up. There's Jarvis. Check that. Michael Magruder, number 28, being helped off. Looks like he's all right. And the Jets with a 1st down just outside the 10.
Well, all the momentum here has been on the Jets side for a very, very long time in this game. Other than that 3-point field goal that kind of gave Miami a little ray of hope, this has been a one-sided game from the end of the 1st period till right now. And, of course, Miami needs to hold them to 3 here if they're going to do much the rest of the day.
Blair Thomas for a short pickup. Brian Cox, outside linebacker, making the stop. Brian Cox, a rookie from Western Illinois, edged out E.J. Jr. for the starting job in the absence of one of many Miami holdouts, Hugh Green, who came in late, came in just prior to game 2. E.J. Jr. was a hero of Brian's while growing up in St. Louis. There is Hugh Green, the 11-year man from Pittsburgh, who has not been getting the playing time. 2nd down and 8. O'Brien fires to the outside, intended for Moore. A.B. Brown on the coverage. Ken O'Brien is now 13 for 17, 184 yards. He has had an exceptional day.
Well, he seems to have really settled down from Monday night. He was a little high and a little wild, and of course he was criticized a little bit for a couple of throws, but he's been very, very accurate, as I said earlier in the game today, and is having an outstanding day. Here's a big play for him here right here, though.
Did not have a good one on Monday night. 16 for 30 at one point of the 1st half. Had a string of 7 straight incompletions. He's looking at a 3rd down and 8. And throws to the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Moore, who was facing double coverage.
Had one little chance to get the ball in there, and he knew he had to gun it, so he threw it just a little high. You see Moore's going to come down, try to get across the end zone line and stop. Now there's 2 guys, and of course Kenny guns it, and it's just a little bit high. He might have had a chance to get it in there, but it would have been close.
And Pat Leahy will attempt from 25 yards away. He missed earlier from 44. His prior attempt was the miss against the Bears. And this one is good. Leahy extends the Jet lead over Miami to 24-13. To the days of the American Football League back in 1966. Miami won both games last year. Over the years, these two clubs have put a lot of points up on the board. Miami has won the last 3 against the Jets. And the Jets lead it 24-13 with 9 minutes to go in this third quarter. Good kick. And Mark Logan will stay right there. Miami will start from its 20-yard line. Jets have done very well on first down plays. Here's a breakdown. 17 first down situations. They've gone with the run, and they've done it successfully. Bill is what he said. 12 times and 5 passes on first down.
Well, and all 5 of the passes have been play actions off the run fake, which is exactly what you want to be able to do on first down. Run it real well, and then play action like they've been doing to Moore.
Miami, with only 33 yards on the ground on 10 carries, have not been able to get going. Marino's pass, good adjustment by Clayton to step in front of Brim to make the catch. Mike Brim has been spotted with Tony Stargill going down with a twisted ankle earlier in the first half, although Stargill has made his return. Brim is a one-time Minnesota Viking. Vikings head coach Jerry Burns had a strong statement concerning Brim, who was closest to Neil Anderson, who scored that touchdown at the end of regulation against the Jets on Monday. Burns said, Brim killed me all last year as a Viking. Now he's killing me this year. Very, very nice. Marino in trouble and able to get it off, but a short pickup. The catch made by Higgs. Kelly able to cover up.
Marino trying to get something generated for the Dolphins here of a consistent nature. You know, they started the game with a couple of pretty good drives against the Jet defense, but since that time they haven't really done much, and he's trying to get them back on track before, you know, one more score for the Jets here would put this game in a different situation. Right now the Dolphins are still within striking distance if they can get going.
Second down and 6 from the 35. Clayton to the right, Cooper left. And it's to the tight end, Beatty. He has a first down out at the 45, stopped by Brim. Coming into today, Marino had not thrown a touchdown pass the last 2 games. Well, he did connect in the first half with Duper, but that has been it. In 14 meetings against the Jets, Marino had thrown 40 touchdown passes, so he had been lighting it up in prior meetings. A look at the Hertz 10-minute ticker. Seattle now 24-3 over Indianapolis. First down at the 45-yard line. 7 minutes left in the third. Look out. Logging it. Not able to get to Marino, who's able to get it away for Clayton. And he caught it out of bounds. The strong safety, Brian Washington, was right alongside Mark Clayton.
Lagerman is working on Richmond Webb, takes him up and beats him underneath. Now he goes by Marino. Marino sees him just in time, gets away, and of course you see Sims peeling back and straightening Lagerman up there. This guy is a thorn in Miami's side right now.
A thorn?
Yeah.
In their side.
He's worse than that. More than a thorn.
Second and 10 from the 46.
Marino's calling an audible here.
Oh, he tried to side on him, and Bill Pickel got a piece of it.
The Jets were in an overshifted defense that time, and Marino might have had a play called into that overshift, and he didn't want to run it, so he called the audible and tried to go to the pass.
Marino now 12 for 24, 163 yards. Bill Pickel signed as a Plan B free agent after 8 years with the Raiders. Drawing the start for the injured Scott Mercereau. That's Mercereau to the left. Third down 10. again, the crowd responds to the Jet defensive unit. Marino able to run out of trouble and completes for the first down. Mark Duper had a comeback. He made the adjustment and then made the catch in front of the left corner, Tony Stargell.
Duper again working against Stargell, puts a double weave, and now Duper just adjusts for this on his own. The route's kind of broken and Marino's flushed out of the pocket. He just throws it and Duper makes an outstanding catch. Had to reach way back inside there, but that's just a broken pattern that turned into a first down.
Second reception for Mark Duper in his 10th year out of Northwestern Louisiana State. First down at the Jet 41. Marino had the time, and Beatty with the reception. So Greg Beatty with another nice catch. Brian Washington on the stop. That's 3 catches for Beatty. Charles Henry started at tight end against Green Bay last week, and he had 3 costly drops, including the very first pass of the game. The regular tight end, Farrell Edmonds, is on injured reserve, and Charles Henry, who had been cut from the squad, was re-signed, but today Don Shula going with Greg Beatty as the starter.
Well, when Marino can mix it up a little bit, you know, and not just have to go to the wide receivers, it sure helps him as a quarterback to go a couple different places.
Here's Higgs, able to break a tackle. Kyle Clifton and Lonnie Young tripping him up.
Higgs was telling us yesterday that he really doesn't like the toss play as much as he likes the straight ahead plays. You know, he said the toss play is not giving him as many options, and here you see the pursuit almost overruns Higgs and he tries to cut it back in, but he likes the straight ahead stuff a lot better.
Picked up only 1. It's a 2nd and 9 at the 16. 9th play of the drive.
Here's another audible.
Marino looking at Clayton. Timing pattern for Clayton. Covered by Brim. They bump each other. Clayton was looking for a call.
Clayton fakes that slant pass that they've hit a couple times, and now he's going back to the corner, but Brim plays it very well. That's that inadvertent contact. There's no interference at all there. That's very good coverage by Michael Brim.
3rd down and 9 at the Jet 16. The Jet defensive unit has played very well. They lead the Dolphins 24-13. 4:26 to go in the 3rd. Marino throws end zone. Touchdown! No, it's ruled incomplete. Clayton thought he had it.
This might be a review situation right here.
The Dolphins, understandably, are very upset. Don Shula waiting to see the replay up above. All right, here it is. Oh, I don't know.
That's awful close. I don't know whether I could call that one, but since they call it incomplete to start with now, the chances of them reversing it aren't very good.
Play on the field was ruled an incomplete pass. After review of instant replay, the pass was incomplete. 4th down.
Well, the replay again the replay official must have felt that there wasn't enough conclusive evidence to reverse that call. And in looking at the replay myself, I agree with them. I think that might have been an incomplete pass.
And here is Stoyanovich attempting from 33. Earlier hit from 33 and from 53. Sequels will hold. And Pete Stoyanovich continues his perfection. He's 8 for 8 for the season. The Jets lead by 8. Well, Don Shula and Gary Stevens, the quarterbacks and pass offense assistant coach, in a chat with Dan Marino.
I think I can tell you what that was about. You know, Marino had to pull the ball down about 3 times on pass plays in that drive and improvise, and they're probably talking over the coverages and maybe making some alterations in their passing game, because I'm sure Dan doesn't want to have to pull it down the rest of the day.
That's with a 24-16 lead. And Terrence Mathis on the return, trying to dodge Mark Logan. 4:08 remaining in the third. The Jets 24 and the Dolphins 16. We'll be right back.
12-yard return.
In the third quarter, the Jets with the 24-16 lead on Miami, but this is a Jet club the last 2 years that has had major problems in the second half of ball games. Last year, the Jets finished at 6-10. They led at halftime in 11 games. They led after 3 quarters in 7, and the pattern has continued in the early portion of this season. Off the fake, Thomas gets out to the 27. J.B. Brown able to make the stop. Blair Thomas, in his second year out of Penn State, struggled through his rookie season because of nagging ankle and hamstring injuries. That followed a contract holdout, but he's off to the good start this year. It'll be a 2nd down and 8 from the 27-yard line. Blair Thomas was telling us about what they call the gauntlet drill to prevent the stripping of the football. Now that should have been most interesting this week. Thomas is stacked up. Brian Cox on the stop. Steve McMichael, of course, stripping the ball.
Well, what they
Monday night.
Yeah, what they do on that gauntlet drill in practice is they line up 2 lines of guys about 3 feet apart, and then they give the back the ball and they run them down the middle of them. Quite obviously, that's the name gauntlet, and those guys try to pull the ball out and hit them in the shoulder pads and knock them off balance, and it's a good warm-up, kind of get into practice drill, and a lot of teams do that. I know we used to do it a lot during training camp with our running backs.
I find I used to do that around the house with the kids. That's all. He said he didn't lose one at all during the week, at least in the gauntlet drill. Thomas broke the tackle. A nifty move by Blair Thomas to surge for the first down. T.J. Turner on the stop. And now the left tackle, Jeff Criswell, is hurt. Jeff Criswell in his 5th NFL season. Man who has allowed only 1 sack the last 10 games. He's had some penalty problems. Bruce Coslett saying it's more mental than physical. He has been very satisfied with his play. At left tackle, it's been Criswell, Cadigan, Sweeney, White, and Eatman up front. And this Jet offensive line has played well.
Here's Criswell here. He's on the left side, and you see Thomas coming in behind him, and it looks like number 99 comes over, and his own guy drives the Miami defender right into Criswell's side. I think it looks like it's going to be a rib injury. You know, he looks like he's ready to get up. You know, whenever they grab above their waist, you always feel a little bit better than when you see them reaching down below their waist. I think he'll be all right.
Trevor Maddich, though, has reported in from the sideline to spell Jeff Criswell. There is Trevor Maddich, 7-year player from Brigham Young, who can play all the offensive line positions, including tight end, where the Jets have used him in goal line and short yardage situations.
He's not home at left tackle, though. His position is center, and I'm sure he feels a little bit on an island. Maybe the Jets will keep a tight end over here with him. But sure enough, they got the tight end on his side right now.
4 left and 2 right. First down for the Jets from their 35. O'Brien for 2. Short on the first down. He was stopped by the free safety, Lewis Oliver. The chant of tune from the crowd. Now here's Criswell reporting back. 4th catch for Tune. It is a 2nd down and 3 at the 42-yard line. We're approaching a minute and a half remaining in the third quarter. Jets trying to bounce back from the loss in overtime on Monday night. Miami, a club that has been struggling offensively. They beat Green Bay last week, but did not play well. A 16-13 win for Don Shula's 300. And the first down collected by Baxter. Running well, he broke tackles and really was able to shake off Oliver.
Well, you get the sense that Miami's defense here is right on the verge of getting ready to crack. You know, they've had a rough day. They haven't really been able to stop the Jets for most of the day. Baxter loose in the secondary. You know, Thomas is hurting them, Moore's hurting them, Toone's hurting them. They haven't really gotten it going, and you kind of get the feeling watching them that they're really ready to crack.
Jets have a first down at the Dolphin 44. Time running down in the third quarter. Reaching out to the 41-yard line with a half minute to go in the third. And the Jets have run well, 119 yards on the ground. Miami with only 34. Miami has had difficulty stopping the run. Thurman Thomas of Buffalo, 165 yards. Earlier this season, Barry Sanders of Detroit chalked up 143. And the crowd reacting to the play of the Jets as this third quarter comes to a close. The Jets 24 and the Dolphins 16. We'll be back after these words from your local station.
So black hair instead of blonde.
Fourth quarter is underway. Marv Albert, Bill Parcells from the New Jersey Meadowlands. The Jets 24, Dolphins 16. Second down and 6 from the 40-yard line. O'Brien for the tight end Boyer, and he has the first down.
Kenny called an audible there, and apparently he spotted something and was able to get the ball over the middle to his tight end Boyer. Now, I, as a coach, never like to throw the ball in that area of the field because too many bad things usually happen, but he got away with it.
That's right. That's a no-no for the very conservative but successful style.
No, that 8-yard area right over the ball down the field. I didn't want anything going in there.
It is a first down at the 31 as we get started in the fourth quarter. Now the lone deep back is Freeman McNeil.
And he called another audible.
McNeil gets to the 26, tripped up by the left defensive end, Alfred Oglesby. Freeman McNeil, the Jets' all-time leading rusher. Over the years, he has had some huge games against Miami, including his first 100-yard day. That was back in 1982. He picked up 6. It is a second down and 4. Altoon is to the left. Rob Moore to the right. McNeil, the lone setback. McNeil on the draw. Short on the first down. Reichenbach and Offerdahl combined for the stop. A look at the tracer, 10-minute ticker. First, the early games. These are the final scores. Who do you feel right now is the best team in the National Football League?
Right now, I feel like the Washington Redskins. They're the highest scoring team in the league. They've got the best special teams production in the league right now without question. And their defense looks improved. But the special teams are the big things for the Redskins. Their field goal kickers 9 out of 10, and they have the leading punt returner.
The injured player is Brian Cox. We'll take a timeout. Back after these words. Sideline replaced by Hugh Green. 10th play of the drive. It's a 3rd and 1 down at the 22, and it is O'Brien looking for the first down. He has it. And O'Brien on the keeper.
What the Jets would really like to do is drive it in. I know you want to score a touchdown every time, but you know, at this time in the game, if they can get to 31, you know, that makes the Dolphins have to score 2 touchdowns and at least a field goal to beat them. And I don't think they're going to have enough time to do it if the Jets can get it in from here. O'Brien 7 for 7, 100 yards.
And on first down situations, Ken O'Brien overall 16 for 21, 205 yards. And off to Baxter. And he is smothered at the 19-yard line. David Griggs, John Offerdahl combining to make the stop. And there's Brian Cox, the rookie from Western Illinois, who was forced out just a moment ago. He has emerged as the starter in the absence of Hugh Green, who came in late after holding out, and now Hugh has checked in, replacing Cox at the outside linebacker position. Second down at 9 at the 19. The Jets 24, the Dolphins 16. Play action, and O'Brien throws off the roll, and let's see what the call is. It is ruled a completed pass. Chris Dressel was able to maintain possession inbounds, covered by Lewis Oliver.
Dressel right on the sideline there. He didn't play last week, but the ball's there. There's one foot, and he drags the other one. There's no question that's a completed pass.
Dressel inactive last Monday night because of a sprained ankle. Spent 4 years with Houston, then on to San Francisco, Cleveland, Kansas City. This is third year with the Jets. Third down and 5. 13th play of the drive. And we get a timeout call. Timeout taken by Miami.
Well, you see what happens when you lose a linebacker like that. They may have had a defensive package ready to go, and now the other guys don't know who the coach wants to substitute in that defensive package. So they had a little problem. They had to call a timeout.
Stadium, 4 minutes into the fourth quarter. A long drive executed by the Jets. This the 14th play of the drive. The Jets with an 8-point lead on the Dolphins. O'Brien worked the time. Chris Burkett broke the tackle. Worked his way between Oliver and Brown. What a game for Chris Burkett, not only as a receiver, but remember late in the second quarter, he blocked a punt by Roby, was able to pick it up and run it in.
Well, Burkett starts in, and this is called a read delay pattern, and he bends it in and then reads the zone coverage and then just works back away from it, and O'Brien's able to get him the ball. Now, these Jet receivers are having a day today, believe me.
Poor tackling by the Dolphins, in particular in the second half. It's a first and goal at the 3. Burkett in motion. O'Brien off the roll. It is broken up. Dusty Jackson got a piece of it. The pass intended for Chris Burkett.
Well, the Jets tried a little trickery here. They shifted out of their goal line formation, then made a quick motion with Burkett coming across, and then they ran a little pick pattern here. I can't use that word. That's against the rules, but they try to spring Burkett loose, but Vesty was right there to make the play.
You can't use the word
well, it's
against the rules?
Well, it's a common thing. Everybody runs that play on the goal line.
It is a second and goal at the 3. Baxter, McNeil, the running backs. 87 Burkett in motion. And here's Baxter. Touchdown. And once again, the strong second effort by Brad Baxter. It appeared the Dolphins had him, but he kept going for the score.
Well, you notice they're staying on that right side again with Eatman and Dwayne White and Jim Sweeney. And those 3 guys together are, in combination, are, I think, as good as any trio in the league right now. They're
really,
yeah, they're very able run blockers, particularly.
Very high praise. And Leahy able to put the extra point right through. 15 plays, 77 yards, and the Jets have the ball for 8 minutes and 51 seconds.
Well, this is the same play that the Jets ran for the first touchdown with Baxter. You see Eatman and White come off. Baxter sees the crack, and he just splits two Dolphins. Now, there's no excuse for the Dolphins not keeping Baxter out of the end zone right there. But to his credit, he just overpowered two of the defenders on the goal line. And that's a big spread now. That's 3 points or 2 touchdowns and a field goal it takes to beat him now.
We're set for an update. And before we go to the kickoff, here's Bob Costas.
Marvin, Seattle rookie Dan McGuire played the first half. Seahawks led 17-3, but he wasn't all out effective. Veteran Jeff Kemp comes in, throws a touchdown pass in the second half, then caps this drive by handing to Derek Fenner, who goes 10 yards for the score. Seattle is romping. The Colts will be 0-5. Indy trails 31-3.
All right, Bob, the Jets now lead the Miami Dolphins 31-16, 10:25 remaining. In the fourth quarter, Brad Baxter scoring his second touchdown of the game. The Jets lead the AFC in time of possession, and they are adding to that statistic here this afternoon. Aguilar getting set to kick it to the combination of Aaron Craver and Mark Logan. Louis Aguilar, first-year player from Utah State, by way of Barcelona in the WLAM. Logan out to the 20. Out across the 30-yard line. A good return by Mark Logan. Mike Brim made the stop.
Brought down by Mike Brim.
A look at the 10-minute ticker. In the later games, Raiders down 12-3 in the fourth. Kansas City on top. Rams over Green Bay 23-14 in the fourth quarter. Phoenix involved in a battle with New England, and Seattle walloping Indianapolis. First down at the 32-yard line, and Danny Marino will be firing away. Down by 15. And he is smothered. Dennis Bird with his second sack of the season. The Jets with their third of the day.
Some kind of missed assignment on the left side of the Miami offensive line, because Bird was unblocked that time and just ran free past Keith Sims. Really didn't make a very good effort to hold him out. That's what you kind of call a gimme sack right there, like a gimme punt, Morris.
Yes, I understand. Dennis Bird last year led the Jets in sacks with 13 and won against Chicago on Monday. Well, Tony Martin given much cushion to work with. James Hasty on the stop. 9:40 remaining in the fourth quarter. And Marino is looking at a third down and 13.
Well, the Jets just have to be patient here and not give Marino the quick score. They have a perfect down and distance to try to get him off the field. 3rd and 13 right here.
Again, Marino was in trouble. Jets say incomplete. Mark Duper with a terrific effort. And the call is incomplete. He was covered by Tony Stargell. This crowd is sparked.
Well, again, you know, the initial coverage by the Jets, very good. Marino has to pull it down again. Can't quite get it up the field on the run to Duper, and the ball bounces short. It's incomplete.
Reggie Roby will punt from the 15. Look out. Chris Burkett was in his face. Got one earlier. Here's Terrence Mathis. And he is stopped at the 28-yard line. 48-yard punt, 7-yard return. Bobby Harden made the tackle. Artistic shot by our crew, headed by producer David Michaels and director Andy Rosenberg. A look from across the Hudson at Giant Stadium in the New Jersey Meadowlands. 76,000 plus on hand. 9:02 to go in the fourth quarter, and the Jets lead the Dolphins 31-16. Here's Brandon McNeil. Yeah, he broke a tackle. And another. listen, he went for 58 yards. And he feels it.
Freeman makes a real nice read here, and of course gets against the grain, and there's some traffic, and he breaks loose, and of course now it's just a foot race, and Green's chasing him. Now Freeman looks like he's running out of a little gas there, and they run him down.
Freeman McNeil in his 11th year out of UCLA has been spotted. Well, with Blair Thomas getting most of the work. Confusion on the snap, and O'Brien decided to cover up, but you see the penalty flags. There have been very few penalties here throughout the game.
Before the snap, illegal snap, number 53, 5 yards, still first down.
That is the center, Jim Sweeney. Well, Freeman will rest on the sideline after going for 58. Get the idea his teammates are all over him.
Oh yeah, but they're happy for him too, because of course Thomas has taken the job really, and Freeman's a supplementary guy now, and they're always happy when a guy in that role can come in and do something big like that. It gets everybody excited.
It is a 1st and 15 at the Miami 18. 8:15 remaining in the fourth. Baxter inside the 15. That run by Freeman McNeil going 58 yards. The second longest run in his illustrious NFL career. His longest since back in 1985. His longest run, a 69-yard sprint. Second down and 10.
Well, the Jets will take as much time as they can from here out. You know, of course, Marv, you know me. If I was in there, the sound you would have heard would be the knife going into the football and the air coming out.
The Jets do not want to see the gunslinger Dan Marino back on the field.
No, don't give him an opportunity.
Here's Thomas. He found the opening. Runs it to the 7. The strong safety, Jarvis Williams, on the stop, and the Jets continue to run at will against the Dolphins. As we mentioned earlier, Miami has had big problems against the run.
But more than that, the Jets are getting rid of an awful lot of frustration that's built up over the last 3 weeks. You know, the 3 losses in a row, 2 playoff teams from last year. This is the 3rd playoff team they're playing. They're unloading a whole bucket full of frustration right now.
Jets have now gone 202 yards on the ground. 3rd down and 3. As we come up on 6.5 to go in the 4th quarter. Inside handoff for McNeil. And he is turned back, reaching out near the 5. Ran into Chuck Klingbeil, the nose tackle, first-year player from Northern Michigan. And it appears the field goal unit will check in for this 4th down and about 2.5.
Well, they'll let the clock run all the way down here, or maybe even take a penalty. I don't know whether they'll take a penalty or not, but they'll let that clock take as many seconds as they can off the clock before they let Leahy kick this one.
And this is a 23-yard attempt. Leahy earlier hit from 25. Leahy is 1 for 2. He missed his first attempt from 44 yards away.
They let the 45-second clock expire.
Delay a game on the offense, 5 yards. Still 4th down.
That's a little unusual, moving yourself back for the field goal.
I would think the idea is that Leahy will have a better angle.
Well, coincidentally, the ball's on the 11-yard line, and that's exactly where it was Monday night on that. Well, they're calling it 27. It's just across the 10-yard line, but
was a dramatic point on your part, though.
Thank you, Mark.
Very nice. Officially, they're calling it a 27-yard attempt. And he puts it right through. Leahy 2 for 3 for the game. And the Jets now lead 34-16. And we'll swing around the scoreboard. A look at the 10-minute ticker. Early games. Victories by Buffalo. Dallas over the Giants in Dallas. New Orleans goes 5-0. Detroit with a 31-3 thumping of Tampa Bay. And the late games, Raiders in front of San Francisco. Kansas City now by 1 over San Diego. Rams leading Green Bay in the fourth. Phoenix opening up against New England, and Seattle walloping Indianapolis. Jets trying to make it a record of 2-3. They have beaten Tampa Bay, lost to Seattle, then Buffalo and Chicago. It'll be teed up once again, while Miami comes in at 2 up and 2 down. Last Sunday they beat Green Bay 16-13, but again a struggle for the offense, only 37 yards on the ground, and the Dolphins have struggled once again here today. One touchdown thrown by Marino. 0 for his last 2 games. Here's Craver on the return, getting across the 30-yard line. Chris Burkett, who has been all over the field in many capacities, made the stop. And looks like Craver suffered a cramp after going 17 yards on the kickoff return. Well, a look at next Sunday's schedule, an NFL doubleheader here on NBC starting at 12:30 Eastern Time. NFL Live hosted by Bob, and then it will be the Jets and the Browns in Cleveland. Denver plays Houston, Miami, New England, Seattle, Cincinnati, the late games, San Diego, and the Los Angeles Raiders. We suggest you check your local listings. 5.5 remaining. In this fourth quarter, Marino now 15 for 30, 207 yards. He has cooled off after a fast start. Only 8 for his last 19. He pegs one. Tony Martin. Nice moves by Martin. Breaking tackles. The one-time New York Jet, Tony Martin, finally hauled down by Darrell Davis, but he went 32 yards on the play, and Davis is hurt.
That's what they call a flanker screen. It's a run and shoot play that has evolved. And you see it's a quick throw to the flanker. The other 2 receivers just go block their respective defenders, and Martin comes down against the grain. Now, this is the fastest guy on the Dolphins here, and Don Shula was telling us yesterday, hey, this guy can make a big play for us, and sure enough, this is as close to a big play as Miami's had the second half.
Tony Martin out of Mesa College in Colorado. In his second year in the NFL, he was a 5th-round draft pick of the Jets, coming up with his 3rd catch of the day.
Well, here you see they're going to throw it out to this guy Martin real quick. These guys are going to come off and try and block their respective defenders. They're going to get a couple linemen out here, and Martin's going to come back after he catches the ball and go against the grain. So it's a subtle way to get the receiver the ball on a screen with guys in front. There you see the receivers, and now there are the linemen acting as a shield. Here you see 1, 2, 3 linemen downfield blocking for Martin as he comes against the grain, and it provides a little wall. It's almost like a punt return.
And Tony Martin able to break a couple of tackles along the way. Darrell Davis finally got him down. Now Davis is hurt. Darrell Davis in his second year out of TCU. He had a big game last year in Houston. Awarded the defensive game ball. All right, here's a look at how Davis got hurt. Wearing number 98. Has the wraps on Martin. It's up to see unless Martin landed on him or one of his teammates.
Martin's knee might have come down on him under that pile there, but you know what's a good sign there is look at the hustle. Davis was involved in the pass rush, rushing against Marino, and now you see him 40 yards down the field making the tackle on the receiver after the ball is completed. Now, you know, that's real good hustle, and it's what the defensive line coaches like to see their linemen do after the ball is thrown, get back down there and help on the play. Jets have to be careful not to give Marino the quick score right here. An onside kick or two could turn this game back very quickly if he could get in the end zone. Jets have to be patient, make them earn it.
First down at the 37. Penalty flag is down. And Marino with a free play is picked up. Oh, it's dropped. Don Boyd Odegaard with the shot at it, but could not hang on. The pass intended for Mark Duper.
Marino just took a chance there. He knew the Jets were
Defensive
offside.
left in offside, 5 yards, still first down.
That is Jeff Lageman who jumped. You know, Lageman seemingly has increased his first step quickness off the line of scrimmage. That's what the coaches tell you. Is that possible? Can you do something about your quickness?
When you first come in the league, you don't know what it takes to play in terms of training, conditioning, stamina, endurance, all those things you have to find out. It looks like Lageman has watched enough film and worked, you know, enough now and had enough good competition that he knows what to do now, and it makes a big difference for a guy. Some guys never find out.
Duper picking up the first down. Also the double teaming of Dennis Byrd that may have helped Lageman at the start of this season. More respect for Byrd coming off the 13 sacks of a year ago. First down at the 25. Marino is hauled down for the 4th time. Marvin Washington, the left defensive end, number 97, collects his 2nd sack of the game.
You know, this is very unlike the Dolphin offensive line, you know, which has the reputation of being the best protected line in the league over the years, but they're in this situation, and the Jets are really putting big-time pressure on them.
2nd down and 12. Dolphins in a hurry up, and Marino throws across the field, intended for Clayton. Ryan Washington on the coverage.
That must be the 5th time, though, that Marino has had to pull the ball down because of the rush and scramble out of the pocket. That's very unlike Dan Marino. He doesn't like to do that.
Marino in week 1 threw 3 touchdowns against Buffalo, but he's managed only 2 touchdown passes the last 4 games. And the crowd urging the Jet defensive unit on. 3rd and 12, and it's intercepted. Eric McMillan goes all the way. Well, Eric McMillan was quoted in yesterday's New York Newsday saying that he feels he has been wronged by the Jets in losing his starting job. In his rookie year, he intercepted Marino 3 times. And he comes up with the interception here for the touchdown. Leahy. And in the extra point for a 41-16 lead. Eric McMillan beaten out by Lonnie Young, the veteran by way of the Cardinals, because the coaches felt that McMillan was not a strong tackler. Now, he disagrees. To his credit, he has not complained, at least until the story yesterday, and has played very well on special teams.
Well, yes, he has. You saw him break out of the middle of the field there, and he had just a good read. Marino must have stared down the receiver a little, and Eric just got an outstanding break on the ball and went right across, and of course he just outran all the Dolphins there for the touchdown. And again, what you're seeing here is a lot of frustration on Marino's part, but the alleviation of that on the part of the Jets.
And Houston 5. Atlanta to within half a game of the Dodgers, who host the Giants tonight.
Art Bobbin back at Giants Stadium. Eric McMillan just a moment ago won 83 yards on the interception to propel the Jets to a 41-16 lead. Mark Logan had difficulty handling the kickoff, and the flag has been thrown for McMillan.
Kickoff out of bounds, 30 yards from where it's kicked. 1st and 10 on the 35.
For McMillan, it is the 4th time he has returned an interception for a touchdown over his 4-year career, and the 2nd time against that man, Dan Marino. Eric McMillan went to the Pro Bowl his first 2 seasons and then lost the starting job this year.
Well, Miami, of course, has replaced their Dan Marino now. The game's out of reach, and there's no use exposing him, so they're going to give their backup quarterback, Scott Secules, a little time. And Secules is a young guy that we like very much in the draft. I remember sent Ron Earhart down there to see him and scout him, University of Virginia quarterback.
In his 4th season, Secules completes to Cooper out to the 43-yard line. Out of 3:45 remaining in this 4th quarter. McMillan made the stop. When the season started, Scott Mitchell was considered as the number 2 quarterback behind Dan Marino. Mitchell was the holder for Charlie Bauman, who was handling the place kicking in the absence of the holdout Pete Stoyanovich. But when Stoyanovich came back, and Bauman did an excellent job, but when Stoyanovich came back, he was more comfortable with Secules, and I think that helped his cause. Also at the quarterback position, late on that reception, Secules, you mentioned, out of the University of Virginia in his 4th year. The downside, at times, coaches say he's been a little bit hyper. They've tried to calm him down.
Well, the best way to calm a guy down is let him play some and let him get used to the anxiety level. You can see the guy has got a rifle arm. He just thrown 2 rifle shots. His arm is comparable to Marino's in terms of velocity, but, you know, there's a lot more than velocity to playing quarterback.
Scott Miller makes his first catch of the day, and Secules has opened up 3-3 with just under 3 minutes remaining in this 4th quarter, and the Jets have certainly bounced back from the bizarre defeat in overtime Monday night in Chicago. And you recall they also lost a tough one to Buffalo the previous week, so they will go to 2-3 while Miami Dolphins continue to face a host of questions. Secules on the run and runs it out of bounds, picking up the 1st down. Miami not able to get the offense going once again, and they will drop to 2 up and 3 down. Next week they play at New England, followed by a game at Kansas City. That'll be the 3rd straight on the road, and then they return home for Houston, while the Jets next Sunday will go up against Bill Belichick and the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. Bill Belichick, your one-time assistant, who is on hand scouting in person with the Browns, not scheduled this weekend.
And I'm sure he's not liking what he's seen from the Jets. You know, they're looking like a team that might be ready to push themselves in.
Brian with a good-looking stat line, 18 for 24, 221 yards. Troy Taylor has taken over. Here's a look at today's Canon camcorder replay of the game. That'll come up in just a moment. A 2nd and 8 now at the 46. Taylor, who is noted as a good running quarterback, brought down by Hugh Green, short of the 1st down. Now look at the Canon camcorder replay of the game, and the big play with 12 seconds to go in the half. Ruby's punt blocked by Chris Burkett, and he runs it in from 11 yards away, and that opened it up. It put the Jets on top 21-10.
That was the big momentum changer. It's a close game, back and forth, both offenses going right near the half. This Chris Burkett makes this play, and that puts the distance between the Jets and Miami, and of course the Jets just added to it, and Miami couldn't catch it.
Burkett in his 7th year out of Jackson State, and he has excelled on special teams as a receiver with the block punt, and then able to run it in. Well, the Jets have shown they've been able to turn it from one of the toughest losses in the history of the franchise, but Well, it will have no meaning unless they're able to string some victories together.
Exactly right. You know, if they go out there next week and after the week's over, they're 2-4, then this one didn't do them any good. But if they can put 3-4 wins together where they get in shape for the second half of the season to make a run at Buffalo or at least at a wild card, then they're making progress. But they have to be very pleased with the way things went today after 3 weeks of frustration.
And the pass incomplete, intended for Rob Moore. Chris Green, rookie from Illinois, 7th-round draft pick on the coverage. So Don Shula doing some shuffling. Minute 46 to go in this fourth quarter, and the Jets lead the Dolphins 41-23. How about from the Miami point of view? Don Shula cannot be a happy man. He's looking at a club that is still having its difficulties on the offensive line. The holdouts and injuries really have torn this club apart. They have not been able to catch up. Here's the punt by Aguilar. Scott Miller. Oh, he misjudged. He lost it. Looked like he was having difficulty with the lights, and it is again Chris Burkett on the recovery.
I think the difficulty was a little bit more with the wind here, which is picked up late in the game. And, you know, I can tell you firsthand, the wind in this stadium, unless you know what you're doing, you got a big problem with it. You see him drifting. Anytime you see a guy drifting like that, he's going to have problems with the punt. They need to have their feet set and not be reaching for the ball.
I would think the Jet coaching staff can pick up the game ball and hand it to Chris Burkett right now.
He's certainly a candidate, along with, of course, Ken O'Brien. But, you know, the sentimental run by Freeman McNeil, that would deserve some mention, too.
And the Jets will just run it out. And at 35, remaining in the fourth quarter. The Jets with a 41-23 lead, and they'll just play the clock down.
Well, you see Bruce Coslet, he's smiling. And Coach Fazio, their special teams, or the linebacker coach, he's smiling, and the players are smiling. You know, it's been about a month since you've seen any smiles over there at the Jets training site in Hofstra. Look at them. Everybody's smiling.
96, Mark Gunn, rookie out of Pittsburgh, defensive end, and once again, Troy Taylor will just kneel down. I did want to mention those Bob Costas fans who usually stay up late are in for a special treat this Thursday. NBC presenting the Later with Bob Costas 3rd anniversary show. Bob will be seen at a special time. That's 11:35 p.m. Eastern Time, following the local news, and you'll see Bob and a wide variety of guests from stage, screen, and the world of music who have stayed up later with Bob over the past 3 years. This Thursday, 11:35 p.m. Eastern, right here on NBC. Now the check will be in the mail. Come down. That's a very fine punt. Well, the crowd reacts as the Jets run out the clock. They defeat the Dolphins by the score of 41-23. The Jets go to 2-3. The Dolphins drop to 2-3. Thanks to our producer, David Michaels, director Andy Rosenberg, statistician, Mr. Stats, Elliot Kalb, who tomorrow celebrates his 30th birthday. The big 3-0 for Mr. Stats. Our spotters, Mike Albert and Frank Sikowski. We'll be right back. 209 rushing yards. Ken O'Brien 18 for 24 for 221 yards. Dan Marino got off quickly but did not have a good second half. He finished 17 for 33 for 245 yards. Marv Albert with Bill Parcells saying so long from Giant Stadium. Be with us next Sunday for an NFL doubleheader starting 12:30 Eastern Time with NFL Live. Check your local listings for the games in your area.